I can tell you that through the movie, there were certain things that would excite Stephen King. In any given scene that he loved, there was a special passion, like a kid. He was like a child in a circus, and this is a very strange thing of Stephen King, because Stephen King liked horror. I'm sure that he was creating ahead of time something danger because he was excited about it. He liked very much the extreme danger. Every day we had a security because the movie was a very dangerous movie. Every day there were explosions. It was very dangerous. I was scared sometimes. I was scared because I remember Stephen King had a kind of pleasure to see difficult situations. I was certain I was going to get run down by a truck because they had to come within inches of us, you know. There was always this hint of danger. But I don't believe it was intentional. I think it's because we were in North Carolina and we had these non-union crews because, you know, Dino De Laurentiis wanted to shoot it at a price, and you pay for that. Because they're not just that experienced. They're not like serious Hollywood stunt people that really know the score. I remember there was this one guy on fire and they had a really hard time putting him out. So, you know, you just always felt like someone was going to die on the set. It was North Carolina, it was early on, and everyone was new to the craft. I blew up a lot of things, notes director King. It was fun. It got a little more purgatorial each week we filmed at the Dixie Boy location. We all cheered when it went up.
I think I'm very heartbroken, though, what happens to the jukebox, though. That was a great jukebox.
Yeah, that was. And my reaction to that was actually genuine, because it was, I didn't know it was going to make that kind of a racket.
Oh.
And it was like, you know, it's a wonder I didn't have PTSD from that movie.
Because of where we were located, and when they would deem that they needed certain stunts, sometimes local people would be hired to train with Glenn Randall, who was one of the top stunt director, second unit directors. And at one point he said, "Would you be Wanda June's double?" And so I am in the film, it's my film debut. I'm standing at the door, being Wanda June, as the trucks are circling.
Regular effects guys who are handling squibs on the body and explosions, they'll tend to come to me and say, "Hey, do you have blood that we can use so it matches what you're using?" I go, "Sure." So I gave them a gallon of what is normally about 95% Karo syrup. It's a very thick syrupy blood. And then I also gave them a gallon of what I call pumping blood. When it has to go through tubing, that thick blood just doesn't pump. So when you're doing things through tubing, you need to have a blood that's very thin, and it's pretty much like 90% water. Now I don't know why, but all the squibs were loaded with the thin pumping blood. Every squib in there was loaded with that. That's why those were like extremely juicy. Probably about the juiciest squib hits caught on camera.
Were you anywhere near there, or were you on scene when they were doing that shot?
Oh, we were all inside.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just glad the stunt coordinators weren't in charge of that. We had an actual armorer, because there have been dead people there because those stunt guys were terrible. Yeah, the little army mule.
Yeah.
That thing with the 50 caliber on top, or it may have been a 60. I don't remember now.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, that thing was going off. We weren't inside when they were actually shooting making the bullet holes in the windows break in the thing. But it was a little loosey-goosey.
Everything about it was bizarre. At a certain point, we had to blow up a beer truck full of beer. And they load this thing with explosives, and it's going to blow up, and someone says, "You know, those beer cans, when they're full of beer, they're going to be like they're, you know, if they hit anyone, they're going to break their bones. You have to empty all the beer cans." So the entire crew is out there pouring rivers of beer down. You know, and of course, afterwards, when I went back to my lighting truck at the end of the day, for some reason, my lighting truck is now sitting like this, because my guys had taken all the lighting equipment out one side, and it was like about a 3-foot wall of Milwaukee's best.
And we did a lot of night shoots, and I think one of the reasons Stephen says he doesn't remember is because it was at the height of his alcoholism.
Right.
right, and his drug addiction, which I didn't know. But I do remember that despite, no matter what the schedule was, if it was a night shoot, the beer would come out at 5 o'clock. And he would just start drinking. Right. And I was like, okay, all right, anyway. I mean, you just go, in retrospect, maybe not the best decision. And I remember, I've told this story a couple of times, but there's that scene where the Cadillac drives through the wall of the truck stop. And I'm standing there and I'm like, Curtis, is that car gonna like drive through the wall like the thing? By the way, worst Southern accent ever. Like, where's that girl from? Anyway, was she an Army brat? Did she just move all over the South or what? So no supervision whatsoever. So they said, okay, Yardley, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do the stunt. You're gonna stand there and you cannot move until we say go, because we only have one shot at this. I think they had built that truck stop. I think it was an abandoned gas station, and then they built the structure because they were gonna destroy it, of course. And I said, okay, I was 22, I think, at the time. And they said, and don't worry, because it's gonna come. It's gonna look like on screen it's coming so fast. It's gonna go so slow. It's gonna be so fine. I'm like, okay. So I'm standing there, and okay, roll 'em. Okay, action. That car came so fast, and I am like, you have got to be kidding me. That scream is so real, and I'm thinking, and about when are you going to tell me to move? It felt like an hour. And so finally, they're like, move, and I leap out of the way, and I leap into sort of, there were booths, in the truck stop, and they're like, great, and I have glass in my hair, I mean, it was not legal, I'm sure, at all, like no hazard pay, no nothing, and it just was, that's the kind of shoot it was, yeah.
There were a few ad-libs. One for sure I know is Barry Bell's famous line when he's out there fueling up the trucks, stuck on this. That was Barry. And I still talk to Barry quite a bit. And you ask about the training. Yeah, they took us out for a range day. Mm-hmm. I got to fire because I kind of like guns and pistols and stuff. And they gave me that British Sten gun, which was fully automatic. But the firing pin had been removed on it. But I got to fire out on the range so I could get the feel of so I could try to reenact the kick and whatever. But they had a 50 caliber out there, and they let me fire that thing too.
That had to be fun.
Yeah, buddy, hot dog. Your mama's in the trunk. That was still kind of fun.
Well, it was this weird flip thing because during the day it was really, really hot, and then when we started shooting at night in the sewer drain, it was like all of a sudden it was chilly because we had to crawl around in this water. And it was water that they'd pumped in there. So it was kind of nasty, but not really all that. We weren't crawling through real sewer water. It was something that they'd built. But the rat was real.
I remember crawling through a sewer pipe, in the middle of the night. Disgusting, sludgy, foul. I mean, I don't know. And when we crawl through the drainage ditch, it's an actual drainage ditch. That's not in a studio. They're like, you don't mind, right? You just like, it's a little mud,
it's okay.
like who knows what's in there, good God. Gosh, I mean, I probably have a tapeworm still from that, who knows. So it was an adventure.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I know that the explosion, the main explosion at the end of the final death nail for the Dixie Boy, the special effects coordinator used a little bit too much explosives. And the buildings that were adjacent, the offices that were adjacent, and the people who we rented the property from, actually their suspended ceilings all came down in their building, in their offices.
Those guys were not messing around when they had 55-gallon drums of some sort of explosive on each corner of that building.
Oh man.
So when it went, it seriously just said boom.
I'll never forget, 2 o'clock in the morning, doing Maximum Overdrive in the Dixie Boy diner, which was a real diner we actually built. It was loaded with explosives. And I'm up on top of a crane, the wind was blowing, and the thing's rocking from side to side. I get the call action, and the whole place blew up, and we blew out windows 4 miles away. And that was a great moment. You don't get to do that in real life very often.
They wanted a reaction shot, so we were there the whole time. But setting all those explosives and everything, it took a long time, and I got as close as I could to see what they were doing because I found it all really fascinating. And then when they blew the thing up, it was like a party. It was like 4th of July.
It was our set, and then we watched them blow it to hell. And that was kind of nice too.
Fortunately, no one got hurt, but shrapnel landed really close to me, and I foolishly picked it up, not thinking it would be like pretty hot. It wasn't super hot, but it was hot. So I grabbed it and quickly, but it landed maybe 15 feet away. So that was, yeah, you got to sometimes make sure these things are hard to measure and weigh, but it's better to be safe than sorry. So you reel in the special effects team sometimes.
While filming the scene in which the ice cream truck flips over, a telephone pole-sized beam of wood was placed inside it so it would flip end over end, but the truck flipped once and slid on its roof right into the camera. Dolly grip Gene Poole pulled the camera out of the way at the last second. Poole's name is listed on one of the time cards when Bill puts his card back after Bubba says that he must work more hours than he's going to be paid for.